If I told you that a trip to Bunnings and a pre-purchase vehicle inspection would actually make your life safer, would you do it?
And I don't mean like the modern meaning of safety where you need trigger warnings everywhere. I mean, are you open to learning about how to keep yourself safe by doing something really simple?
See if you can spot the fault before I actually tell you what it is at the end. Now imagine that the power has gone off. I know the light's on, I did say imagine. Imagine the power has gone off and you're going to go to the breaker and you're going to check that the breaker has, if you could just turn it back on, okay? Now the breaker doesn't turn back on, so you're now going to start investigating around the van. What could the problem be? Now what if that breaker hasn't actually tripped the electrical live wire? What if it's tripped something else? And would you even know that it's done it? Well, this is why I do this test. Let me show you something. This is a 240 volt tester. It tests to make sure that the ground, the live and the neutral wire is all good. And you can see here the two lights at the top says that the live and the neutral are wired back to front. Now that might be a fault in the caravan, or it might be a fault in the supply. So let's have a look at this and see if we can figure out what's going on. Because if the live is back to front with the neutral, it could be that the van is still live because the power hasn't switched off. So let's push the tester into here. This is the extension cord, and you can see that we've got a green background come up. So that's tested okay to there. So what's the fault? Let's go over to the van now, and we're going to pull out the electrical extension. Now, just while we're doing that, if the neutral is tripped and not the live, that means that the van is still live. There's still a potential to electrocute yourself. And have a look at that. It looks like it's not the van that's at fault, it's that extension cord. But why is it at fault? Did you spot it? Did you see why it is that this electrical cable, this fault, is caused by the electrical cable? So let's rewind this and actually find that fault. And by the way, this isn't the first time I've seen it. There it is right there. It's not the cable that's at fault, but the workmanship that created it. This is a 15 amp socket to a 10 amp plug, which is illegal and dangerous, but also it's been wired backwards. So how can we avoid this from happening again? Well, that's where Bunnings come in. All you need to do is find the electrical and lighting section, find extension leads or power boards, and you will find an adapter just like this. It will take a 15 amp lead to a 10 amp socket, and then you can just basically plug it into your household electrics, nice and safe. I've told both the seller and the buyer about this. The seller threw the cable away, and the buyer will now have a safe vehicle. And by the way, the van tested okay with a new lead.